Hello and welcome to The View from Swift Business Forum Ireland, filmed on location in Dublin. I'm Joy Macknight, Managing Editor at The Banker, and I'm joined by Marco Hughes, Managing Director, Global Head of Core Payments at HSBC, to talk about how banks are collaborating to drive their digital transformation. Marco, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
So have you seen a real step change in terms of how banks are collaborating, whether it's with fintechs or even their competitors, and what do you think is driving this trend?
Well, certainly we've seen a huge change, certainly over the last 3, if not 5 years. And that's really to do with a number of different factors in relation to it. Not least of it is how regulators are also expecting banks to operate more efficiently and quicker. So you're seeing a global rollout of real-time payments in most of the major markets, and certainly HSBC operates on it. But also we're getting a lot of client desire. So clients are getting used to using apps where they know where the parcel is and when it's getting delivering. Now they want that from their payments as well. They want the certainty and assurances on that. So the kind of scale of some of the stuff that I'm doing for our clients is very large amounts of money. And they can lie awake at night wondering where that payment is in the same way as you might worry where your package is. So they really worry about it. So we're making sure that we provide solutions to help them manage their businesses more efficiently in that space. And what we're seeing is a lot of fintechs are coming up and saying actually they can provide solutions and help us on that journey. HSBC is a very large organisation. Clearly there can never be one solution fits all. And so we're working with a lot of fintechs with regards to addressing specific client needs along that entire value chain.
So how does an ecosystem approach really transform the customer's payment experience?
If you consider a payment journey, for us actually payment is the product. We're a bank, that's what we do. Most of our clients kind of expect us to do that efficiently. I mean, they do with all their banks. For them, the payment is a byproduct of something that they're doing. They're buying something, they're paying a supplier. And so really what we're seeing from a collaboration perspective is solutions that integrate that payment aspect into actually their underlying business of what it is that they do. That's from the small business up to the very largest corporates, and in fact we also bank other banks in relation to that. So the tools that allow the finance director not just to know from their accounts payables department whether or not a payment's gone out, from the accounts receivables department that a payment's come in, but actually what does that mean up into the logistics side of it? What does that mean in terms of their marketing? So the C-suite are beginning to see they can start predicting the flow of goods from their organisation by using this real-time data that banks can provide them.
You talked a lot about fintechs. How does HSBC really decide which fintechs it's going to work with?
Well, that's a hard question because there are a lot of fintechs. I mean, it's a very exciting time to be in the payment industry with this huge inflow of capital and bandwidth and brain power with regards to resolving these issues. One of the things that we're very concerned with HSBC is regards to our scale. We sit there and we look over 66 markets around the world. We do a huge amount of transactions, billions of transactions a year, and that's easy to swamp a small company. So what we do is we set up a number of labs around the world, but really we engage with a client in partnership with a fintech to see whether a specific problem can be resolved by the use of the fintech. You need to be very careful not just to go and do something because it looks nice and exciting. It's got to resolve a real world need. So what we do is we source those fintechs from around the world. We work with them in partnership, see whether or not their solution will work with ourselves. We took a very agile approach with regards to doing that. And then if we can embed it within a particular scenario within a particular country, we really like to get it embedded in the country and then potentially roll it out regionally and then globally.
Okay. And my last question, which is maybe the $1 billion question, which is what do you think the payments ecosystem will look like in future?
Well, clearly what we're going to see is a massive increase of transparency and speed. That is happening by default anyway. And so really what we'll see is solutions becoming much more integrated from an API perspective within the supply chains of clients' solutions, whatever particular part of software that they're using. The finance part will become much more transparent, much more liquid, much quicker in relation to that. So I think conversations that we've been having here with Swift, well, maybe 2-3 years ago with regards to the amount of friction in the payment addressing that will certainly be gone. It's disappearing now. It'll be gone in a few years' time.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your insights, Marco.
Thank you.